The trial that divided a nation, guilty or innocent. If you think justice is black and white, you're about to see how gray it can get. Subscribe now, because this story will make you question everything you thought you knew about guilt and innocence. The sirens wailed through the quiet streets of Charleston, South Carolina that October morning. Reporters swarmed the courthouse steps like vultures, cameras flashing as the black SUV pulled up. Inside was 27-year-old Ryan Adler, the man accused of one of the most polarizing crimes in recent American history. The case had everything: wealth, race, privilege, and power. Ryan wasn't just anyone. He was the son of prominent real estate magnate William Adler, a billionaire known for his sprawling developments and political connections. But none of that mattered now. Not since that night in June, when 24-year-old Emily Hargrove was found dead in her apartment, and Ryan became the prime suspect. The crime scene photos had shaken even the most seasoned detectives. Emily's body was discovered in her bedroom, her phone missing, and the only fingerprint on the doorknob belonged to Ryan. They had dated for 6 months before breaking up 2 weeks earlier. Neighbors reported hearing shouting the night before, and the next morning, Ryan's car was spotted on surveillance 2 blocks away. The evidence seemed airtight, except for one thing. Ryan swore he was innocent. He claimed he'd been at a friend's house that night, passed out on the couch after a party. The problem? His friend Mark said Ryan left around midnight. When police brought Ryan in, he didn't ask for a lawyer. "You're wasting your time," he said calmly. "I didn't kill her." But public opinion didn't buy it. Social media exploded with hashtags like #JusticeForEmily and #AdlerPrivilege. For many, this wasn't just a murder trial. It was a symbol of inequality in America. The prosecution painted Ryan as a spoiled rich kid who thought he could do anything, even take a life. They said Emily had tried to end things, and he couldn't handle rejection. His defense, led by a sharp and fiery attorney named Olivia Grant, argued the opposite, that the police rushed to judgment because of public pressure and ignored key inconsistencies. Then came the shocking detail that divided the country: the mysterious fingerprint on Emily's phone case. It didn't belong to Ryan or Emily. Detective Sarah Mills, who led the investigation, admitted under oath that the print had never been matched. "We ran it through every database," she said. "No hit." The defense seized on it. "If that fingerprint doesn't belong to Ryan," Olivia argued, pacing before the jury, "then who does it belong to?" The courtroom buzzed with tension. Every news network streamed the trial live. Protesters clashed outside, chanting for justice, half calling Ryan a murderer, half calling him a scapegoat. And then, just when the defense seemed to be gaining ground, the prosecution dropped a bombshell. They introduced a new piece of evidence: a deleted text message recovered from Emily's phone backup, sent at 11:42 p.m. the night she died. It read, "He's here. I didn't think he'd actually come." The room went silent. Olivia froze. Ryan's face went pale. The prosecutor turned toward the jury. "Ladies and gentlemen, this message was sent minutes before Emily's death. The number it was sent to belongs to Ryan Adler." The gavel struck as murmurs filled the courtroom. Outside, reporters shouted, "It's over for Ryan Adler." But inside the defense table, Olivia leaned toward her client, whispering coldly, "That number isn't registered to your current phone, is it?" Ryan shook his head slowly. "No," he said. "That's my old number. The one I haven't used in 2 years." Her eyes widened. "Then who's using it now?" The question hung heavy in the air, unanswered, dangerous. And as the cameras flashed outside, the country realized something chilling. This wasn't just a murder trial. This was the beginning of something much bigger. The next morning, the front page of every major newspaper in the country carried Ryan Adler's face. Headlines screamed, "Millionaire's son caught in lie," and text message blows defense apart. But inside the courthouse, Olivia Grant wasn't ready to give up. She knew something didn't add up. That old phone number, Ryan's number from 2 years ago, was a mystery she couldn't shake. Back in her office, she pored over the digital records again. The message Emily sent, "He's here. I didn't think he'd actually come." It was damning, unless someone else had that phone. With a call to a contact in the telecom department, Olivia got a list of registered users for the number. When the results came in, her heart stopped. The number was reactivated 5 months ago, not by Ryan, but by someone named Marcus Lee. Marcus had once worked for Adler Properties, the family business. He'd been fired for insider theft 3 years earlier and had sued the Adlers for wrongful termination. The case was dismissed, but Olivia now saw what no one else had: a motive. Revenge. Meanwhile, inside his holding cell, Ryan was unraveling. "You believe me, right?" he asked Olivia during a private meeting. His eyes were red from lack of sleep. "I didn't even have her address saved anymore. Why would I go back there?" Olivia's tone softened. "I believe you, but believing isn't enough. We need proof." That night, she met Detective Sarah Mills at a downtown diner. The detective looked tired, conflicted. "You think I arrested the wrong man?" she asked quietly. "I think someone wanted you to," Olivia replied. "And I think Marcus Lee is behind it." Sarah frowned. "Marcus moved out of state after the lawsuit. We checked his record. Clean." "Check again," Olivia said, sliding over a photo. It was a security image. By sunrise, the case that had already divided a nation exploded into full-blown chaos. The media couldn't get enough. "Breaking news. Emily Hargrove possibly alive. Murder case in question," screamed across every network. Protesters outside the courthouse clashed again, one side yelling, "Free Ryan Adler," while the other screamed, "Justice for Emily." The courtroom of Charleston had become the center of the world. Detective Sarah Mills barely slept. She and Olivia Grant drove out to the rural county where Marcus Lee's car had last been spotted on highway cameras. They found it 2 hours later, abandoned under a bridge. The inside smelled of gasoline and mold, and in the passenger seat, taped to the dashboard, was another phone. Its screen glowed faintly, showing a single unsent message. "Truth is relative." Olivia muttered, "He's taunting us again." But Sarah's eyes were fixed on the back seat. There, under a pile of blankets, they found a woman's scarf. When they ran DNA, the lab called within the hour. It was Emily's. The timeline made no sense. Emily was declared dead 6 months ago, her body identified by dental records. Had someone faked the evidence? Olivia and Sarah returned to the coroner's office that evening, demanding the original autopsy files. The chief medical examiner, Dr. Wallace, looked uneasy. "We received strict instructions from the DA's office to close the case quickly," he said. "Who gave those instructions?" Sarah pressed. "Assistant DA Monroe," he admitted. "She said the public needed closure." Olivia's jaw tightened. "So you never ran DNA confirmation?" Wallace looked down. "No." The truth hit them hard. The entire case, from the beginning, was built on a lie. They reopened the evidence locker. The body that had been buried under Emily's name wasn't Emily at all. Dental records were falsified. The fingerprints on the doorknob, the missing phone, the murder weapon, all planted. Someone had orchestrated this perfectly. By midnight, Sarah's phone buzzed. Unknown number. A text message appeared. "You want Emily? Come alone." Attached was a GPS location, an address outside Charleston, an abandoned courthouse. Against protocol, Sarah didn't wait for backup. She went. The old courthouse was silent except for the echo of her footsteps. The grand hall smelled of dust and rust. Her flashlight beam landed on a figure sitting at the witness stand. Emily. She looked alive, but terrified. "He's watching," she whispered. Before Sarah could respond, a voice echoed through the chamber. Calm. Collected. "Detective Mills, you should have let it end." Marcus Lee stepped out from the shadows. But he wasn't alone. Behind him stood Assistant DA Monroe. Olivia burst in moments later, gun drawn. "Monroe, you staged this entire thing?" Monroe smiled bitterly. "Do you really think the system works? The Adlers bought everything. Police, press, judges. I was never going to get justice for Emily, so I made my own." Olivia's eyes widened. "You made Ryan the villain." "He was the villain," Monroe snapped. "He destroyed her life, used her, discarded her. The public needed a symbol. But Emily..." She glanced at the trembling young woman. "Emily didn't die. She helped me build the story." Sarah's voice shook. "You faked a murder to destroy a family." Monroe raised her gun. "I exposed corruption." In the chaos, a single shot rang out. Then silence. When the police stormed in minutes later, Marcus was gone. Monroe was dead, and Emily sat frozen, sobbing uncontrollably. Ryan Adler was released the next morning. The nation was stunned. Half the country cheered. The other half screamed injustice. And just as the headlines began to fade, one more twist hit the world like a hammer. Security footage from the CEO. Erdhouse's basement showed Marcus Lee walking away after the shooting, with Emily by his side. The final clip froze on Emily turning toward the camera, her lips forming 3 silent words. "He deserved it." And then the screen went black. If you think this story was wild, wait until you hear what happened after the cameras stopped rolling. Hit subscribe, because the next case will make this one look simple.